Hi crafty friends, I'm Janet and welcome to my channel. And welcome to today's new release hop from Kat Scrappiness. The set I am working with today from this release is called Will Work for Craft Supplies. Any of y'all feel that way? So I'm going to do a little bit of coloring while I tell you about this set. So there are, I guess it's not really a set, we'll call it a collection. This release has a stamp set, a die set, some coordinating paper, and there are some fantastic embellishments. And so the collection set, stamp set, comes with the girl, the boy, and a bunch of really great sentiments that just make the set. Will work for craft supplies. We'll trade husband for craft supplies. Low on craft supplies, anything helps. And my husband said if I buy more craft supplies, he will leave. I will miss him. Those just crack me up. And his expression is so funny. And then there is a coordinating die set that is available that cuts out both characters as well as the sentiments. And then there's a paper pad, and I show you the paper pad a little bit closer up in just a minute when we get done with our coloring. So I get asked a lot about my coloring, and this is sped up, but I hope you can kind of get an idea of my style, how I do it, my coloring flow. I start with my darks and then move down to my lights. And I do use the Sandy Unlock hex chart quite a bit, especially to match to my papers. And you'll see in a minute, I'm going to pull it out to try and match the color of her shirt to the paper that I want to use. So on her sign, I'm using the E40s because I want it to kind of look like cardboard, like a worn cardboard. Like she's panhandling for craft supplies, in front of the craft store. But it just cracked me up. But this stamp set, though, with her with the sign, you could easily add happy birthday, miss you, so many things. It's just basically a blank slate to add your sentiment. So here I'm going to pull out the papers that I'm going to use from this paper pad. And you're going to see I'm going to match to like what yellows will go the best with it. And that really helps me to pick my colors because then I know what they're going to look like when they're dried because they dry just a little bit differently. And so then I can pick the ones next to them that are great shading ones. So we're going to finish getting her colored up. We'll color him up. I'm not going to use him today in a card, but be on the lookout because he has his own card coming. And then I'm doing her hair kind of dark-ish with grays. And how I do that is, these are the W's, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And they just give me that kind of warmer color, like hair would be. But then I bring in my white charcoal pencil, pastel pencil. It is the, pastel chalk. General's pastel chalk. And I just get them on Amazon. Or Hobby Lobby, I think, has them too. But I use that to kind of bring in the more of the gray look to the hair. And also to give the hair kind of that look of strands. And it just kind of helps kind of give it that little, when I look at my hair, I see the brown underneath with the little strands of gray. And it really does just make enough difference that it looks like hair. So you'll see that here in just a second. And I hope that helps somebody out there. I do also grab for my black sketch pencil as well. And that just adds, again, a little bit more of the hair look. And I'll show you a close-up here in just a second. So there's the pencil, sketch and wash. And It's just kind of a black charcoal pencil, and just a few little touches makes that hair. All right, so here's the paper pad and all of its wonderful patterns that you get, and a little bit closer look at the stamp set and dies. So let's make our card. I use the reverse scallops set to cut out a frame, and then I decided I was going to cut two out of different papers and then use the inside part from the other paper. So I just kind of flip-flopped them, and then I have to figure out which way they go. So we're going to get this put together. I tried to pull in some colors that were, that I found in the paper. The little triangle one has some pinks and yellows and a little bit darker blue, and so I pull in that pink. And I pull in a darker pink as well. But Kat has some fantastic products. If you haven't just kind of surfed through the website, there are lots of characters. The quokkas are my favorites, kind of obsessed with them, but I do like these ones as well. They're really fun to color in. And lots of embellishments. You'll be surprised if you go look through the embellishments. If you like shaker cards, there's some shaker die sets as well, but shaker bits, oh my gosh, there's so many great mixes that she has available. So I'm just putting my sentiment on, and it says low on craft supplies, anything helps, and I emboss that on a really kind of thicker vellum with gold embossing powder. And then I use the stars from the scalloped die set to cut out some little embellishments. I'm trying to keep this card fairly flat. It does have quite a few layers, but they're not real bulky layers. And so when I added the little stars, I didn't want to add anything that was going to add, some larger bumps. So it would be really easy to mail this one. And I think I have the perfect friend that would love this card. And then up in the corner there, you'll see I have a little pink speech bubble, and I actually cut that out of one of the papers. It has all these little like speech and thought bubbles, and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So I got that added. Then we're going to add some of the little stars, and these are from the reverse scallop set. So it comes with the little embellishments as well as the scallop frames, which I love. I love the scallops on the inside. So we'll get those added, and that is about it. It's a perfect card for any of your crafty friends, and you could switch out the girl for the guy, and maybe you have crafty guy friends. I have quite a few, so that would enjoy this, and it just cracks me up. So we'll get this all set. I hope that you will check out the links below in the description box, as well as the playlist to follow along with the other designers in this hop. There is some amazing talent that you will see along the way. So I am so glad that you joined me. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a fantastic day and enjoy the rest of the hop.